Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. Today we're at a lovely farmhouse over in Kent. We are unfortunately here to rectify another plumber's work, so I'm hoping the channel won't just be filled with us sorting out other plumbers' work. So we do our own installs as well. So we're here today to sort out the first fix on a bathroom that's going in, really high end. So the customer's picked up on it again, and yeah, we're just going to be here to rectify it. So I'll show you some of the work that they've done and let you know what we're going to be doing to rectify it. So this is the shower valve that's been installed. You can see here there's scorch marks all over the timber. Copper work's not been cleaned up. It's all a bit of a mess. Switch between copper and HEP. Got this really unnecessary loop going up to the handset. And also, for some reason on the shower head, like not even the holes have been drilled straight, so it's a bit all over the place. Again, and most of it's just down to laziness. It's just a bit sloppy, so you know, if your customer walks in at first fix stage and sees this, then there's a good chance you're not going to be returning. That's exactly what's happened here. So we're now here to rectify it. This is going to be a really high-end bathroom. You know, all the materials are going really high-end, Lefroy Brooks, as well as a very, very expensive bath. So yeah, we're going to cut all this out and start again. So other than the bathroom first fix that we've got to rectify, we've got some central heating pipework to install, which is going to be new, fresh from us. I think the last plumber, he didn't get a chance to do it. So this radiator down here, you can see the pipework. We just got to disconnect all of that, and we're actually going to move the new radiator to underneath those two bay windows. So I've got the floor up now. I was told by the builder that there was originally a radiator that was going against a stud wall here. So I can see the last plumber, he's got it capped off here underneath the floor, so we'll be joining onto these two 15mm feeds and then run the new pipework along this channel here, which I've just lifted up, and then first fixing for a new radiator between the centre of those two windows. Right, I've got a ripsaw out now and a laser set up, so by having a laser set up, we can get our lines all nice and straight from notching the joist, save us getting a level out and scribing it all out. So we've got the depth set on the ripsaw, cut them all nice straight and get the copper in. So I've got the joist notch now. What I'm going to do is put clips inside the notches so it makes sure that the pipework won't bang or there'll be any movement in the future. What you can do is wrap the pipework in insulation and nail it down, but the joists here are really deep, so I've got enough depth to be able to notch them deep enough for the depth of the clip. So what we do is just space them out so there's enough room to get the fittings on the end of the run, and yeah, make a bit better job. So I've got the main copper runs in now. What I highly recommend doing is installing all the new stuff first, so getting your new radiator on the wall, getting it all piped up before you tee into the existing system. So if you tee into the existing system early on, any like residual water can then transfer back into your new pipework, and you might end up having a little leak and you're not realising it. So this section here where I'm going to be teeing in, that'll be the last connections that I do. So you can see now I've got the pipework tails for the radiator coming up through the floor. This line here that's on the wall, that just indicates where the TRV or lock shield should fall. So as long as I've got that pipework centred with that, it should be fine. So again, this radiator is 1200mm wide plus 45mm each side for the TRV and lock shield. So 1290, so got the pipework coming through. There's no floor, so normally I would cut a 22mm hole with a spade bit, just to have it poking up. You don't want to cut it too tight, you want to give yourself some movement just in case the rad's slightly out, but the depth of the pipework out coming through the wall, away from the wall, sorry, is normally about 60mm, I would say. So I'll set these at about 60mm. Obviously depends which brand of radiator you're fitting, but there was some hot and cold pipework in the way here, so just had to offset it under and then bend it back into the elbow. So all the pipework's in for the new radiator now, so just the final stage. I've got the central heating drained down, it's been draining down for a couple of hours now, so it should be good to come into these pipes here. Just need to tee in, join them up to there. Like I say, it's good to get all the new stuff done first and cap, so any residual water that might backfill is perfectly safe to do so. So Bailey's finished piping up the shower valve now. You can see how much difference it makes just doing it correctly in copper. Made it a really neat job. Not too much we can do but with scorch marks all over the timber, but the valve itself is level, it's the right depth now and everything is correct. What we normally do is, rather than drill holes through the stud work, we'll just notch the face out so you can first fix in copper. So there's no real reason why copper can't be used when you're doing it. So yeah, it all looks really good, really neat. He's put the outlets in just to make sure they're all straight and level. So what we do now is we'll cap off these outlets and turn the water back on. So we always leave everything live before we go, rather than air test it, so we can make sure, you know, if there is any little weeps, we'll be able to spot it straight away. So part of the work we've got to do is we've just got to confirm that this towel radiator is going to be in the right position, so all the pipe work first fix is accurate. Also we've got a double vanity sink unit with exposed waste going here, so again we just need to check the heights, check the centres, make sure everything's okay. We've got 1.5 inches coming out on the right and like a threaded elbow coming out on the left, so it's a bit unusual, so we need to check this and also check it in line with the electrics, make sure the mirrors and everything line up. We've also got a toilet that's supposed to be going here. The first fixed pipework is all on the other side of the stud work, so I'm guessing the last plumber was going to do that afterwards, so we'll just check that, make sure the heights and everything okay. And also again with the bath, we've got missing hot and cold going up to the tap, so yeah, we need to work out what's going on. We're quite fortunate that all the sanitary ware is here, so because we're carrying on for somebody else, we need to get it all up in position. So this beautiful sink, Devon Devon, just getting it all lined up. So to be fair, the pipe centers look okay. So we're just gonna put the waste on and just make sure that the waste, because they're gonna be on display, because they're gonna be chrome, we need to make sure that they terminate correctly and level. Right, so we've skipped ahead a couple of weeks now. We're back to second fix this bathroom. All the tiling's been done. James here's just done it. It's looking absolutely beautiful.
Lovely.
Say hello, James. Hello. And yeah, let me just show you exactly where we're at. So we've just lifted the bath in here. Wasn't too heavy, but a little bit awkward. Bailey's just getting the shower valve and that all on. So yeah, tiling looks really good. Looks really nice. And then I'm about to fit the towel rail and also got the vanity unit to go on. Okay, so we're just about to fit the shower head. Sometimes you'll find that once it's tiled, your caps recess back into the wall and it can be quite difficult to get out. So what we normally use is a deep socket set, and then we can just rotate it out like that. So if you're screwing through the tiles and making any fixings within the shower area or any wet area, you always need to make sure that you silicone the plugs that you're putting in, and then you can make sure you've got a watertight seal. So quite often people, when they have water leaks in shower rooms or wet rooms, it's normally because the fixings are actually leaking. Right, so Bailey's got the handrail on now and we're pretty much finishing the shower area. Just got to wait to fill it up so we can test it all, but it's all looking good. And then right, so I've drained down the central heating now and I've marked how deep the pipes need to be to go into the radiator valve, so I just need to make a cut here. And then I can get this towel radiator onto these pipes and I can mark the positions where it needs to be mounted. Right, so I've had the towel rail up on the wall now. Pipework is cut at the correct size and I've marked the holes in the brackets for it to be supported. So there's 4 different support points on this towel radiator. It's quite a large traditional style one. So I've got to drill 6 holes through the tile, and then also I've got to drill 6 holes into the freshly plastered wall. Right, a little tip when drilling through tiles. When you're starting, you don't necessarily need to use a tile guide. So if you come in at an angle and then slowly start to straighten up, you should then get the hole exactly where you want it. So let me just show you. Okay, so we've not had to use any tile guide. It's a lot simpler. Once you start doing that, even with these gold type diamonds drill bits, they say that they're dry bits, but it's best to keep them wet and they'll last a lot longer and also cut a lot quicker. So keep a little pot of water with you, give a little dip in the water halfway through and then carry on. Right, I've got the towel radiator mounted now. It's 12 individual screws which you need to put in by hand, so don't use an impact driver. Normally the screws that come with these types of traditional towel radiators are quite delicate on the head, so you need to get them all wound in by hand. They also come incredibly long usually, so you can cut them down. So between our first visit here, where we was rectifying the first fix, and our return today, second fix here, Bailey's actually managed to get the chrome waste sorted, so they're all terminating at the right location and the right height now. So the next job is we've got to rebuild this cradle for the basin and then we can start connecting that all up. Okay, so we've got the cradle all built now, and what I've done is I've measured the centre between these 2 waste pipes and lined it up with the centre of this basin cradle. So that means I can get my first mount on the wall, and then from this mount I can then measure across and install the bolts that are going to be holding it onto the wall. So this cradle should then just push in and it will be held on with grub screws. Okay, so the basin's all on now, everything's mounted correctly, everything's bolted back to the wall, basin taps are all installed. Looking very, very nice. So it's a rodded waste, so they are a little bit of a pain to install, but we did get there in the end. So that's one done, and we're just waiting for the other taps to turn up. Okay, so the radiator's on the wall now, and all the preparation we've done in the first fix has paid off. So the pipe work has ended up pretty much spot on. I'll just quickly show you. So yeah, they're coming up through the floor, all nice and straight, all in line, which is awesome. Okay, so it's the next day now. We're on to fitting the bath and also the toilet. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of components missing, so we're not going to be able to finish this job today. So we're going to have to return probably next week when all the components come in. But we're going to get the hot and cold feeds in for the bath and the taps, and also cold feed in for the toilet, get the toilet secure, and then yeah, we'll return, fit the components that are missing. So we're moving on to the freestanding bath now. It's pretty much been buttered up to this tiled wall. If you remember at the beginning of the video, there wasn't actually any hot and cold feeds installed by the previous plumber, so luckily enough we can access behind this wall here, and there is hot and cold feed, so just got to drill through and then connect on from there. Unfortunately, we've come to a bit of an abrupt end. We haven't got all the components to finish off the bathroom, so if you check out future videos, hopefully you'll see the finished product coming up soon. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like, comment and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it, and hopefully see you on the next one.